You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your Security Plus certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. The goals of phishing awareness are simple but critical. Reduce the number of successful phishing attempts, encourage faster reporting of suspicious emails, and harden responses after a user does click. Phishing will never be eliminated entirely, but an organization can dramatically lower its risk by equipping employees to recognize suspicious messages and know how to act quickly. Awareness programs focus on teaching staff that their role is not only to avoid falling for phish, but also to help the organization detect them early. Each report adds to defensive intelligence, making the entire enterprise more resilient. Phishing attacks come in many flavors, and awareness must cover the full spectrum. Credential harvesting attempts often mimic login portals to trick users into entering passwords. Business email compromise, BEC, leverages social engineering and impersonation, often targeting executives or finance staff to request fraudulent wire transfers. Malicious attachments may carry hidden malware, disguised as invoices or resumes. Link-based phishing leads users to compromised sites that drop malware through drive-by downloads. By exposing employees to these categories, awareness programs prepare them for the different shapes phishing can take, making attacks less surprising and more recognizable. Email indicators are the most accessible defense employees can use. Suspicious signs include anomalies in the sender address, such as mismatches between the display name and the actual envelope address. Urgent or unusual requests like "wire this money now" are classic phishing triggers. Odd or shortened links and strange attachments should also raise alarms. No single indicator proves an email is malicious, but multiple small anomalies should prompt users to pause and report. Teaching staff to trust their instincts when something feels off helps transform vague suspicion into deliberate protective action. Email authentication technologies also support phishing defense and should be understood at a high level by staff. Sender Policy Framework (SPF) verifies that an email comes from an authorized mail server. Domain Keys Identified Mail (DKIM) ensures that messages are not altered in transit through digital signatures. Domain-based message authentication, reporting, and conformance (DMARC) ties SPF and DKIM together, allowing organizations to enforce reject policies against spoofed messages. While employees don't manage these records, awareness of their existence reassures them that technical controls backstop their vigilance and reduces confusion about why some phish never reach the inbox. Reporting mechanisms must be easy and frictionless. A one-click Report Phish button embedded in email clients encourages staff to send suspicious messages directly to a centralized team for review. Without such tools, users may ignore suspicious emails or forward them informally, delaying triage. Centralized processing ensures that reported emails are quickly reviewed, correlated, and used to improve filters. Encouraging reporting also reinforces the idea that employees contribute directly to the security posture of the organization, shifting the narrative from fear of falling for it to empowerment through action. When a user does click, containment must happen immediately to limit damage. Endpoints should be isolated from the network until they are analyzed, preventing malware from spreading laterally. If credentials were entered into a phishing site, forced resets must be triggered without delay. Forensic scanning of artifacts, attachments, links, or registry changes helps confirm whether compromise occurred. The faster these steps occur, the less chance an attacker has to capitalize on the initial success. Awareness programs should teach users that reporting after a click is just as important as before, since timely escalation can save the organization. User training works best when it is focused and frequent rather than overwhelming. Micro-learning modules of 5 minutes can cover a single phishing indicator or case study. Role-based content tailors training. Finance staff may receive more BEC scenarios, while developers see examples of code repo phishing. Frequency should be steady enough to reinforce memory without creating fatigue, often quarterly or biannually. By delivering short, relevant, and varied training, organizations keep phishing awareness fresh in employees' minds without turning it into a box-checking exercise that staff ignore. Simulated phishing programs provide experiential learning. Their goal is not to trick or embarrass employees, but to give them safe practice. Ethical design means simulations avoid sensitive or manipulative themes, like fake HR notices about layoffs. After a test, debriefs explain what signs were missed and provide resources for improvement. Employees who repeatedly fall for simulations should receive supportive coaching, not punishment. Simulations work best when paired with empathy, showing that everyone can make mistakes and that the real value lies in learning from them. Metrics provide feedback loops for program effectiveness. Key measures include the click rate, what percentage of staff fell for simulations, the report rate, how many recognized and reported phish, and the conversion rate, how many reported within minutes rather than hours. Time to remediate measures how quickly technical teams isolated, investigated, and contained threats after reports. These metrics allow leaders to see progress over time, identify high-risk groups, and justify investments in training or tools. Without metrics, awareness remains intangible, but with them it becomes measurable and improvable. Phishing awareness must be supported by technical controls. Inbound filtering screens out obvious spam and malicious attachments. Sandboxing allows suspicious attachments to be detonated safely in isolated environments. URL rewrites replace risky links with monitored redirectors, warning users if they attempt to click. Attachment detonation provides another safeguard, analyzing files before delivery. Awareness reduces user risk, but technical controls reduce the number of phish that ever reach them. Together, people and technology provide layered protection, ensuring no single mistake compromises the enterprise. Running simulated phishing programs and awareness campaigns also requires privacy and legal consideration. Employees must be informed that testing occurs even if specific details are not disclosed to avoid ethical issues. Coordination with HR ensures simulations are aligned with workplace culture and policies. Data collected from simulations, such as click rates, must be handled securely and without shaming individuals. Transparency and fairness keep employees engaged rather than resentful, transforming phishing awareness into a partnership between staff and security teams. A practical exercise ties these concepts together. Design a 5-minute micro-learning module on spotting suspicious links and set up a one-click report button in the corporate email client. Run a safe phishing simulation to establish baseline click and report rates. Afterwards, provide targeted coaching to those who struggled and share lessons learned with the entire staff. This combination of micro-learning, easy reporting, and safe simulation builds a cycle of education, practice, and improvement that directly reduces risk from phishing campaigns. By the end of Part 1, learners should see phishing awareness as more than training. It is a system of easy reporting, fast containment, ongoing education, and supportive simulation. With this foundation, Part 2 will explore advanced post-phish workflows, analyst taxonomy, campaign detection, escalation thresholds, and how awareness programs stay current with evolving attacker techniques. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Post-phish workflows are critical to limiting impact once a user reports or clicks on a phishing message. These workflows usually begin with triage. Security analysts examine the suspicious email, confirm whether it is malicious, and identify potential scope. User interviews provide additional context, such as whether credentials were entered or attachments opened. Endpoint forensics investigates whether the machine shows signs of compromise. Credential containment follows quickly, often requiring immediate resets and monitoring for reuse. By structuring these steps, organizations respond consistently and ensure that no critical action is overlooked in the high-pressure moments following a suspected phishing event. Tuning email gateways is an ongoing process to reduce false negatives while avoiding false positives. Gateways must strike a balance. If they are too strict, legitimate emails may be blocked, frustrating users. If too lenient, malicious messages reach inboxes. Security teams analyze patterns from user-reported phish to adjust filters, add new sender blocks, or update attachment scanning rules. For example, if multiple staff report a phish that slipped through filters, teams can add the domain or hash to blocking lists. Continuous tuning ensures that technical defenses evolve alongside attacker tactics, reducing overall reliance on user vigilance alone. A standardized taxonomy for phishing helps analysts triage consistently, classifying incidents into categories, such as credential harvest, business email compromise, malware attachment, or URL-based phish streamlines response and reporting. For example, a credential harvest phish may trigger rapid identity team involvement, while a malware-laden attachment drives endpoint forensics. Taxonomy allows security operations to apply playbooks quickly, ensures accurate tracking of trends, and helps leadership understand which types of phishing campaigns are most prevalent. Without standard categories, phishing events blur together, reducing the ability to improve systematically over time. Aggregating telemetry across reports allows defenders to detect campaigns rather than isolated messages. Analysts compare subject lines, sender infrastructure, and attachment hashes to identify whether multiple employees received related phish. This aggregation may reveal coordinated campaigns or targeted attempts against specific business units. For example, 10 employees in finance might receive similar invoice-themed emails, suggesting a campaign aimed at accounts payable. Recognizing campaigns enables broader defensive measures, such as organization-wide warnings or automated filtering, preventing isolated incidents from escalating into enterprise-wide compromises. Escalation thresholds ensure phishing events trigger appropriate incident response levels. A single user clicking a phish may be handled locally, but mass click-throughs across departments warrant enterprise-wide containment. Targeted business email compromise attempts against executives or finance staff may trigger legal or law enforcement coordination. Clearly defined thresholds prevent underreaction to severe incidents and overreaction to low-level events. For example, the discovery of credential reuse across multiple systems after a phishing campaign may escalate to a full incident response activation. Escalation policies ensure proportional, timely responses. Cross-team coordination is essential for handling serious phishing incidents. The Security Operations Center (SOC) may identify and triage the event, but the identity team resets credentials, legal advises on compliance reporting, and communications manages messaging to staff or customers. For example, if a phishing incident exposed customer data, legal may coordinate breach notifications while communications prepares external statements. Without clear roles, responses may be fragmented and delayed. Practicing coordination in advance ensures smoother handling of real campaigns, preventing gaps in response during critical moments. Positive reinforcement strengthens phishing awareness programs. When users report suspicious emails quickly, even if they turn out to be false alarms, they should be thanked and encouraged. Highlighting successful reports in newsletters or team meetings shows that vigilance is valued. For example, congratulating a department for reporting a phishing email that led to improved filtering boosts morale and reinforces the behavior. Programs that focus only on errors risk discouraging reporting. Those that celebrate success encourage staff to participate actively in the defense of the organization. Periodic program reviews ensure phishing awareness remains current and effective. Attackers constantly evolve tactics, so training content and simulations must adapt. New examples of QR code phishing, multi-stage links, or cloud service impersonation should replace outdated templates. Simulations should be refreshed regularly to avoid predictability and to reflect the latest attack trends. For example, after seeing attackers target invoice processing staff with fake supplier requests, training materials may be updated with relevant scenarios. Regular reviews keep programs aligned with reality and prevent stagnation. Reporting phishing trends to leadership builds organizational support. Metrics may include reductions in click rates, increases in reporting speed, or identification of high-risk groups that require more training. Reports should also highlight where investments are needed, such as stronger segmentation, additional sandboxing tools, or enhanced URL filtering. For example, leadership may approve funding for advanced email security after seeing repeated campaign bypasses. By framing phishing awareness metrics in business terms, security teams can secure executive buy-in and resources for continuous improvement. Awareness programs should be supportive, not punitive. Employees who click on phishing emails are already victims of deception, and punishing them risks creating a culture of fear. Instead, coaching should be offered with empathy, reinforcing what to look for next time and reminding staff that rapid reporting even after a click is valuable. For instance, rather than calling out individuals, programs should focus on systemic improvements, like better filtering or clearer training. A supportive culture ensures staff remain allies in the fight against phishing, rather than feeling defensive or disengaged. Automating lessons learned strengthens defenses over time. Indicators of compromise (IOCs) identified from phishing incidents can be fed directly into email filters, SIEM systems, and endpoint protection tools. For example, a malicious sender domain or file hash can be blocked automatically across the organization. User training cohorts can also be adjusted, offering additional reinforcement to groups who clicked during simulations or real incidents. Automation ensures that every phishing event contributes to stronger defenses, preventing repeat exposure and continually raising the organization's baseline resilience. Ultimately, phishing resilience requires a holistic approach: continuous user education, easy reporting mechanisms, rapid containment after clicks, strong technical filtering, and iterative program tuning. No single measure can eliminate phishing, but together they create a layered defense where human and technical controls complement each other. A mature program does not shame employees for mistakes but empowers them as active defenders. By continuously reviewing, measuring, and automating lessons learned, organizations turn phishing awareness from a checkbox into a living program that evolves with the threat landscape. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.